Yes, good evening. Yes, my name is Kenneth Hawthorne. I'm from Falling Waters, West Virginia. And just over 2 weeks, my wife and I, we visit Virginia and we traveled in Maryland. And later that night, my wife was starting to experience flu like symptoms where she developed a fever and developed a bad cough. And since then, that following Sunday, I started having soreness in my throat and developed an upper respiratory infection. I was seen by the VA that following Thursday, where they treated me for upper respiratory infection, where they gave me antibiotics. And at that same time, I was still concerned if maybe I did catch the coronavirus, and I did ask them for a test and they said they could not give me a test at the time. So they gave me antibiotics and treatment and then sent me home later that day. A few days later, I did go back into the ER with the same problems where shortness of breath. This was about 3 o'clock in the morning where they got my blood pressure down and at that time, they gave me some steroid medicine along with anti-inflammatory to kind of treat the problem that I had. And at that same time, I was still requesting if I can get a coronavirus test. And they said they couldn't give it to me. So later on that day, I was really experiencing shortness of breath. And when I went back into the ER, my blood pressure was at 156 over 115. So they worked to get my blood pressure down. They did all kinds of tests, CAT scan and that. And I still had the same problems as before. My breathing was a little bit better, uh, but they told me they couldn't give me the coronavirus test at the time. I mean, all three times the staff, the medical staff there, the ER doctors, the nurses, they were excellent. They did an excellent job treating me, for the problem that I had. But at the time, I think they didn't have the capabilities to test for the coronavirus. As of last Friday, I think they only tested 38 people out of 1.8 million in the state of West Virginia. And I just want to get this out there and let people know that in West Virginia there's no testing being conducted. We sit right here on the eastern panhandle between the state of Maryland and Virginia, and we have travelers go all through. And my wife and I, we traveled to Virginia and Maryland, and we may have been in contact with others that did have the coronavirus at the time. But as I called my primary care doctor, they referred me to call the West Virginia hotline for coronavirus, and I've spoken to them 4 times, and they keep telling me that my wife and I were at low risk, so we weren't priority to take the test. I know they're starting to get more tests in, but my wife is still coughing bad after 2.5 weeks, and I'm still congested. And I just want to get my story out there to let everybody know this coronavirus epidemic. It's a serious thing, and we just want to make sure that we're safe and that we do not get others infected if we do have it. That's why the test is so important. But I just want to thank you all for taking the time to listen to my story, and hopefully we can be back to normal within the next couple months, and hope everyone that has the virus or in contact with others feel better and seek the treatment that's needed. Thank you and have a nice evening.